Hey guys, this is Jesse Zaragoza with iRake Mentality Podcast. Thanks for tuning into the show. Our purpose here with iRake Mentality is basically to unite the baseball community in Chicagoland and beyond with former pros, current pros, men's leagues players, little league coaches and dads, fathers, travel teams, hitting instructors, and basically building the community for a bigger purpose here. Thanks for tuning in. Enjoy the show.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to iRake Mentality, episode number 3. We're moving along here. The last 2 episodes were great. I thank you for tuning in, and thank you for everyone giving me the support, and as well as Ryan, the support of iRake Mentality and talking about men's leagues in Chicago, all the leagues, not just one league, but all of them, getting the community together, being able to be with the community as far as coaching, as far as talented players from the past, talented players from the current, and being able to communicate about everything that's going on in Chicago baseball. For today, Ryan sent us a message. He will not be with us today. I sent Ryan out to Puerto Rico to the MSBL tournament and the 35-year-old tournament in order to get some content for the show. He is currently out there. I know that the Cheetahs out there, and as well as Mickey Martin's team from Cali, the Terror, are dominating. I know the Terror are undefeated. Ryan did send us a message today that I will play. Here's his message live from Puerto Rico.
Oh, hey there. What's going on, everyone? Thanks for tuning in to this week's podcast again. Jesse, wish I could be there with you, but actually Jesse sent me over to do some research on the MSBL tournament hosted here in Puerto Rico. This is the 25th annual Caribbean Championship Series. And unfortunately, the Chicago Cheetahs did not make it, but there is one Illinois baseball player that did make the championship for the SoCal Terror, and that's Mike Martin. Just wanted to give you guys an update on how the tournament goes out here. There's about 10 teams and everyone can ball. When you go to Vegas, when you go to Florida, go to Arizona, most of the time you see the guys from back home. Most of the time you see a fat guy on the mound. I don't want to play against that, right? So the only tournaments that I've been going to lately have been in Puerto Rico because I want to make sure that I'm playing the best of the best. And if you pan this way, you can see a rainbow, you can see the beach. It doesn't get much better than this. Don't get me wrong, Vegas is a blast, but hey, for a once-in-a-lifetime experience, this is absolutely the place to be. So again, Jesse, wanted to shout you out. This is a great thing that you're doing. Appreciate you setting me up. You hooked me up with a flight, you hooked me up with a hotel, but you didn't get me spending money, so maybe that'll be in the budget next year. But just wanted to give you guys an update of the MSBL tournament hosted here in Puerto Rico every single year. As you know, the Caribbean Series is even going on in the MLB, and everyone's watching it. Everyone's at La Placita, everyone's at the beach. It's a great time. So I highly recommend it. I actually scored an interview with the owner, Rich Rosenblum, guy from New York. Great guy. He's doing great things. He's getting new stadiums every day. He's having meetings with the mayor. Great things are coming, but I highly recommend anyone from Chicago around this time of year. We're obviously looking ready for a spring break place. Doesn't get much better than this. All right, iRake Podcast, take it away.
Well, there you go. Ryan's out there in Puerto Rico. I know I just got a text from Mickey. He just won another ship. Mickey Martin, he's the Christopher Columbus of baseball in Chicago. That guy's everywhere, from Arizona, Las Vegas, now Puerto Rico, and he's always winning. He won with the Terror. Congratulations to Terror. Congratulations to Mickey, your first championship of the season. All right, so now we're on episode 3. Episode 3 is definitely one of my favorites here. I've said it from the beginning. One of the things I really wanted to do was bring coaches, dads who coach. One of my favorite things as being a dad and having 2 kids of my own, 2 of them play baseball, and being able to bring fathers onto the podcast to speak about their experience and speak about what makes them do the things they do, certain traits, certain lessons, certain training. And no one better than I've met than Isaac, who's coming onto the show today. He's one of my inspirations. If you know Isaac and you get to know him, where he began to where he is now, he's an inspiration to me. He's an inspiration to many other people. He's doing it perfectly right. He's got the batting cage in his house. He's got the kids that he's training, and he's living a life on his own terms. And he's an inspiration to me. And today On this podcast, I am happy to present Isaac Conaway, and here he is now. Isaac, welcome to the show. What's up, Isaac?
Hey, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Not much, man. Thanks for joining us. I'm very excited that you're here. I know we planned this for a while, and I'm very happy that you have joined our iRake Mentality podcast. Like I said to the people at home, you are one of my inspirations. From the moment that I saw that first picture, bro, with Mikey, I was like, I had a double look. I looked and I was like, there's no way that's Isaac. Mike's like, that's Isaac. You know, Isaac? I was like, I've known Isaac for a long time and he's never had muscles that big. I was like that. He goes, well, that's him. I was like, well, let me listen to Isaac. And bro, ever since that day, I mean, I watched you. I see you on Instagram and everything you do, and dude, you're a very big inspiration to me. And after this episode, you'll be an inspiration to many other people. Welcome to the show, bro.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you having me, man. That's obviously awesome to hear. You know, it was a long road. You know, all that stuff that I did, and you know, the big change and the transformation from baseball to bodybuilding, and now back to baseball. It's been pretty cool. So yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy to be here.
And so with you, was baseball always your love? Because I know you're a really good bodybuilder, and I'll show that later. And people at home, you're going to be shocked because I was shocked. But like, was baseball always your biggest love, or was it just kind of in the back burner? What do you think?
No, baseball was definitely like my number one for since I was 7, and obviously that was something that I just grabbed onto and just obsessed over as a kid. And, it took me places and, got me an education and I met some cool people along the way. I learned a lot, taught me discipline. So, definitely baseball has been my number one for the longest. I kind of like fell off there from, in my mid 20s, once I started working and things like that. And, so, I lost a little bit of love for it, just because I kind of got into other things. And then, my son, getting back into baseball kind of reeled me right back in, man. So I'm back in it full blast again.
Yeah. And it's pretty cool, right? To see your son, like kind of following your footsteps a little bit and Definitely. How you were able to help him in a degree where maybe you weren't helped when you were a kid.
Yeah. No, I take it now as like, I'm trying to make sure that I'm doing the things that, weren't available to me for him. I'm teaching him things that I wasn't really good at that could have made me a better ball player. And I'm making sure that, those become his strengths, and not weaknesses like I had. So, I'm really trying to just get all the weaknesses out of there and just work on him as much as I can. He's a sponge right now and he absolutely loves it. He's probably more in love with it than I was at that age, for sure.
Oh, 100%. So is he following your footsteps as far as position wise, or does he play a different position?
No, yeah, he's a catcher.
He's a catcher.
Yeah, it's funny because it wasn't necessarily like my first choice. I was like, oh man, I don't know if I want him to be a catcher. It's grueling.
Because you felt the pain, right? You felt the pain of your body, and
it's a grueling position, and it's one of those positions that are, you don't get a lot of praise for what you do back there, until you're not there for the team, right? Until the team doesn't have you. Then they realize like, oh man, that was important right there. Like he really was. And so that's why I kind of wanted him to play something else. But, we needed a catcher, and the coaches kept looking at me, knowing my background. They're like, hey, you got to get Dominic into catching. And I'm like, oh man, I don't want to, And they're like, come on, man.
Wait, what position did you want him to play?
I just anything other than catching at that point, it was just like whatever he was going to be good at, whether it was middle infield, the corners, pitching. He's actually a good pitcher too. Anything other than catching, but he just, he's natural at catching, man. Like he likes it. He likes being the catcher. He likes being the quarterback of the field, and he likes the view. He likes what he can see, and he's involved. I think that's the biggest thing for him is he's involved in every pitch.
He's a leader.
Yeah, he's one of those. He's a leader. He wants to be in control of things, and he enjoys that attention on him like that. He doesn't really bother him much at all.
That means he's meant to play baseball, man. Because like everyone always sees you at one point, right? whether you're in the box or whether you're catching or pitching, all
Yeah.
eyes on you for 30 seconds per game, right? That moment, and you got to perform in that moment.
Yeah, man. That's how it is. As a catcher, you have, everybody behind you looking down at you, and you have eyes on your back the entire time. You don't really, you don't think about it when you're playing, obviously, but looking back at it now, and I'm like, man, you really do have everybody like just watching you.
Bro, so I've watched you from afar. Obviously, we've known each other for a long time, but here and gone, and we have connections with Mike, and everything you've accomplished with Mikey and me watching you, and it's like you're a big inspiration, bro. Like I'm so happy that you're on the show today because I want to show people here in Chicago. I know you're in Arizona, you're from Chicago, but like what the possibilities are of it's our dream. Like most of us, me, I want to say us, but me in general, my dream is to own a home, be able to train my kid from home, be able to have a facility for him, and to wake up and be like, yo, you want to go to the cage? And for my son to be like, yeah, sure, dad, let's go to the cage. You've done it all, and I've seen you create everything from the ground up just by hearsay from watching you through Instagram and everything.
Yeah.
And you are basically an inspiration to us, like other fathers. Like we want to be able to do what you're doing, and to the point where it's like at home, because that's what everyone wants. Like as a father, I know I wish as a kid, if I could wake up from home, if I could wake up in my bed and go to my garage and go take 100 hacks before breakfast, dude, that's like, and if me loving baseball, that's a dream. So me watching Dom and CJ's a different animal. CJ's swimming. CJ's doing things that not many people, dude, I'll drown doing the things that CJ does. And I'm looking at his videos and I'm seeing the butterfly and I'm just like, dude, what is he like? How does he do that? Like, that's aside from that's a different world. Like swimming and baseball, they still need the discipline. But to see your oldest be able to do something that I don't think you float, bro. I think you definitely drown.
I do. I have no buoyancy at all, bro.
Right? And he's out there. I'm seeing his videos. He's like doing the butterfly and winning races, and I'm just like the endurance and the cardio that it takes to do what that boy's doing. It's amazing, and we're gonna get to that, and I'm excited for it. Sure. But right now, it's about you and everything that you're doing. Let's talk about a little bit about your early years, man. Like your early years were here. You're born in Chicago. You're from Chicago?
No, so I'm born and raised in Aurora. I did a lot of I went to school in Chicago, and I worked in Chicago as well for a good amount of time. So I'm very familiar with, the south side of Chicago, and, it's one of my, places that I represent when I'm, when people don't know what Aurora is, I'm saying I'm from Chicago. That's just reality. Like nobody knows where Aurora is at except for people here, right?
Yeah, it's by Naperville, guys.
Like, yeah, Naperville, I guess. I hate saying that too. That makes me mad.
Because Aurora has that city feel, right?
Nah, that's it, bro. Like we're right there. I feel like we're always connected, man. We're just a little baby brother of Chicago.
So you grew up in Aurora. What got you into base? Who got you into baseball? Was it your dad or your grandpa? Who was it?
Nah, man, it was my mom.
Your mom? Okay.
Yeah, my mom. Yeah, big shout out to my mom for forcing me to go into baseball at 7. She, we used to play with the neighbors next door. It was a bunch of us in the neighborhood. We lived on Broadway over there by Broadway, North Avenue, close to downtown Aurora. And I grew up there. And a lot of the kids, we just played next door. The kid had a pretty big yard. It was kind of like our little mini sandlot, right? And, it was just for fun. Like I kind of got into it and I was like, oh, this is cool. And my mom kind of noticed that, the kids are rough over there in the neighborhood. And she was like, you know what? You're going to have to play baseball. You can't be running around here, with these kids all the time and getting in trouble. Like that's what she saw. She could foresee that. So she signed me up for baseball. And I was like, I don't want to play. No.
Okay.
She took me down to old, I don't know if you're familiar with it, but John O's Trophies down in downtown Aurora back then. That's where you signed up at to go play, for the Aurora League. And it was a wrap ever since, man. I tried out and, made a team, and I was terrible for my first couple of years, but, I was so obsessed over it. Like I kept working with my dad and, but yeah, my mom's the one that got me into it for sure.
So shout out the moms, because you created basically your future.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, if you think about it, right? Like, like baseball I love baseball because it's multi-generational. It's something that where if one generation loves it, it'll go down for the next generation and hopefully after. So you get to Aurora, you're playing what's that league called in Aurora? I know you guys play at Turner's Field, right?
Yeah. Oh, you mean the boys one, the boys league?
Yeah, where you started.
Yeah, it was just the Aurora Boys Baseball League, and
Is this it right here?
so this was part of the the Aurora League, but this was here Legion League. This was the Aurora Legion League.
That's what I remember. It's everyone
Yeah.
always. So me being from Oswego, the Mark Oliveras is the Eddie Sanchez.
Yeah. That was.
They always
As a matter
talk
of
about
fact, that was their team right there. The Oliveras. They played. I think they played for Third Ward. I believe.
the red team.
right there. Yeah, the red team. Yeah. They were like our rivals, man. We hated them.
Dude, those boys could ball, bro. Mark and JD and them guys, they knew how to ball.
They could ball for sure, 100%.
But you guys were older.
Yeah, that was 15, 16, and 17.
Okay, and what you obviously were dominant. Like you're bigger than everybody, bro.
So yeah, like my coach, you see my coach Rafael Segura, he was the high school varsity coach, and me, Matt Jaquez, Kenny Kleinfeld, all these guys from Aurora, he was like, I'm gonna draft you guys from the high school because I know you guys can do good over here. And he told me he was gonna pick me number 1 because he needed a catcher, so he drafted me number 1. And our first 2 years, we won the championship, and then in the third year, we ended up losing in the championship. So
who'd you lose to?
we ended up losing to a team called I believe it was Sikichin Gardner or something like that.
Who was their best players?
I don't know if you know them, but maybe you do. Jason Peterson and Higgins. Forgot his first name, but
Jason Peterson was a pitcher, wasn't he?
yeah, he was a pitcher. Yep, he pitched against us in the championship game.
Yeah, I remember Peterson.
Yeah, you remember him from Wabanzi, right?
Wabanzi, bro. You guys were dogs, bro. So Wabanzi, for people that are watching, I did get cut my freshman year of Wabanzi. I was a walk-on. Mark Oliveras is one of my great best friends. I love him to death. Shout out Mark. I know you watch here and there. He came with me. Eddie Sanchez came with me from Oswego.
Eddie,
And I thought I had a really good fall. I thought I put on a good show. I was hitting the ball. Kevin Sullivan, Bubba Williams, Josh Williams, they were all on the team, and everyone thought I had a good, good tryout. And then Coach Randall took me into his office and he cut me, bro. I was like, but you know what? That him cutting me was actually a turnaround for me to go into the Army. And
really? Damn,
well, because the reason was because I felt like I was out of shape. I would see you and I would see a bunch of guys, and you guys were bigger, you guys were stronger, you guys had lifted, you guys were like you were one of the top hitters. I remember that.
Yeah.
You were one of the top hitters.
Lost a bunch of weight too, right before.
That's what it do.
Yeah, I was heavy my freshman year, and I lost like 40 pounds because Randall was like, "Hey, if you're gonna play for me, you need to drop some weight." And I said, "Okay." So I went to work, and I dieted real hard and dropped a bunch of weight.
I remember when I met you and you were the catcher, you were the starting catcher, and dude, you couldn't miss a ball, bro. You were hitting bombs to the gaps and over the fence with me. And I was like, who is this guy? I was like, wait, I got to rearrange everything. Once he cut me, I joined the Army, obviously came back and, joined Kishwaukee and came at Wabanzi with everything I got.
Yeah.
But shout out to Coach Randall for, lighting a fire under me and, putting me in the right direction. But you guys had, you guys were real talented at Wabanzi. You had Jaquez, and Matt was, a good friend of yours, Matt.
Yeah, no, Matt Jaquez was he's one of my best friends still right now. He's in my wedding and everything. One of my best men. And he came from high school with me too. So.
And you both went to high school where?
At East Aurora.
Okay, East.
Yeah.
So Matt, I know Matt. I thought he was the best shortstop I've ever seen to that point. When I was 18, 19, I was like, dude, how is this guy at JUCO? This guy should be like D1 drafted. Like, he just had the demeanor of him. Matt had a smile on his face, but he was ready to kill you.
He was.
You know what I'm saying? Matt was that guy. Like, why is he smiling at me? But he's like wants to whoop my ass. Like, that was Matt.
That's how he was, man. He was intense, but you couldn't tell how intense he was. You never knew if he was taking anything serious, but he was. He's so competitive.
100%. That guy scared the shit out of me because he would always smile, bro. He was always so nice, and I was like, dude, that guy's nice, but he's not nice. I was like,
He's
once he's
not.
on the field, he's like ready to kill you. And
Yeah.
I took a little bit from Matt, like as I grew up, because I was young. And
Yeah.
as I got older, now everyone's like, Jesse, you're nice. I was like, yeah, I'm nice off the field. Then I'm nice, I might be smiling, but I want to kick your ass on the field, bro.
Right.
And I got that from Matt. And I never told nobody, but I take a little bit from every player that I really enjoy watching.
That's cool.
And that's one of the things I was like, because nothing's scarier than someone that's smiling at you and just wanting to whoop your ass, and they can handle it. and Matt was that dog, bro. And you guys would hang together. I'll be like, how are we gonna beat this guy?
Right.
So you guys go to Wabanzi together. I know here you're Matt. That's Matt right there, right?
Yeah, Matt, right to the right of the coach. Yeah,
and that's you.
Yep,
yeah, I'll have a bigger picture here shortly. So you're playing in this, the Legion League, which is a big deal. Aurora Legion League is basically like the top of the line in Chicago. Chicago does travel ball, but back then when we were younger, obviously Legion League in Aurora was like you had to be good to play in it.
Yeah.
You end up winning a couple titles there at Turner Field and everything, and then you're at East Aurora. Where do you go from East Aurora when you're a senior? What happens after that?
So from East, I ended up getting a scholarship to go play at Olive Harvey Junior College in the South Side of Chicago.
Okay, wait. So so your recruitment? All right, I ask every person that comes on the show, how was your recruitment process? Because everyone's different. Like, so you're at East Aurora. How does Olive Harvey from Chicago find a kid in East Aurora?
So, obviously back then there was no like social media, it wasn't like, whereas in a lot of video recordings of things, it was hard to get a hold of coaches, and my grades unfortunately weren't the greatest, my GPA, so I couldn't get into the schools that I wanted to. So I was like, all right, well, I went and did some showcases, and one of the coach, Mike Maiden, he was an ex-scout way back in the day. He was starting up a newer program. I think it was already like on year 2 or year 3. And he reached out to me and he's like, hey, I want to offer you a scholarship. You come out here and play. I want you to be our catcher. And, that's what I did. I went out there and, went and got a lot of experience out there and met a lot of cool ass people. I think you were talking to LG the other day, and, it was cool, man. Like I learned a lot. It was a difficult place to go play in. He was a difficult coach, but, he taught me a lot of stuff.
Were you a catcher at Olive Harvey?
I was. Yeah, I was one of the catchers. I played some first base, some right field here and there, but most of the time I was either catching or DH.
Okay, so let me guess. You dominated at Olive Harvey. You probably play against Wabanzi, and Coach Randall sees you and is like, I need that guy. And then probably in the parking lot, he talked to you. Is that how it went? Because that happened to me with Sub.
Yeah, no, I was doing pretty good, man. I was doing pretty good. I was, at one point, I remember like 10, 15 games into the season, I was ranked like 2nd or 3rd in hitting for Division I junior college. I just kind of started to fall off towards the end of the year. I just wasn't focused. I'll just be honest with you. I felt like I wasn't in the right program for me, and my mindset wasn't where I needed to be, like how I was in high school. So, I wasn't doing the things that made me who I was. And, I just got kind of tired of playing over there and driving out there and living out there. It's tough living on the south side of Chicago, man.
Wait. You didn't live out there? You had to drive to school?
I drove back and forth, but I did live. I lived out there for a little while. I lived in Country Club Hills, which was a south suburb.
Yeah.
But then I ended up moving into the actual city, and I lived on 81st and Wabash, like right in the hood, right off the highway, right off the highway.
If you're from Chicago, you know where that's at, bro.
I was living there for a while, and like I'm this dude from Aurora with this red Honda Civic riding around the south side of Chicago, like naive as hell, didn't think nothing of it.
Man. Nothing's gonna happen to you, bro.
Thank God nothing happened to me. Like knowing what I know now, it was crazy, man. Like it's wild. But I ended up reaching out to Randall, and I was just like, I wanted to go back home and get into a different program. And Randall had always been good to me. I've seen Coach Randall, man, since I was 10 years old at Aurora University baseball
He's a
camp.
legend, bro. He's a legend.
Yep.
So when I tell people I got cut by Coach Randall, it's kind of like a fucking badge of honor.
Yeah.
Like, Coach Randall cut me, dog.
Yeah, right.
Like,
I mean,
everyone knows him.
he's a good baseball dude. He knows a lot, man. A lot of knowledge there.
He's a very knowledgeable person, and he made me who I was. But you were at Olive Harvey. Let's talk a little bit about LG. LG, he was a teammate of mine this past season. We played. Yeah, we won a championship. Shout out LG, bro. You're a dog. LG's a little older than both of us. How was LG? Let's talk about him. How was he as as sophomore at Olive Harvey?
He was cool, man. Like he was one of them dudes that was just always funny. He always had some smart stuff to say, always funny stuff to say. But he could ball though, man. Like,
was he a pitcher or a hitter?
He did everything. Like LG pitched. He played infield. He played outfield if they needed him to, and he could rake. He could swing the bat.
Dude, LG is one of the guys that I've played against. I played against them when I was like 18, 19 years old. And I looked for him for a long time. I was like, my family owns the La Barca team, and I played against LG when I was like 19 years old at Benito Juarez. And I was like, who is this guy? I used to call him the Black Panther. I was like, this Black Panther just keeps killing us. And he was on this team called the Phantoms. They had this other guy, JP Moran, who played at UIC. And it's always weird to me when I play these teams, these men's teams that have like one or two stars, but the whole rest of the team was kind of mid, and like it wasn't like fitting.
Right.
And we ended up recruiting JP Moran to our team, and he ended up coming over the next year. But every time I would ask him, I was like, "Who's this Black Panther guy?" I was like, because he would kill us. Like, he would just drop bomb after bomb, and he would get on the mound, and he would only pitch like 2 innings. He would never pitch more.
Right.
But he dominated for 2 innings, and then obviously they bring someone in, and you get a couple hits off him. Yeah. And it wasn't until this past season that we were teammates, and me and LG are sitting in right field, and I'm standing next to him, and we're getting ready for a game. I think it was a playoff game. And he goes, "Hey, Jess." He goes, "Do you remember the Phantoms?" And I was like, "Yeah, I remember the Phantoms." He goes, "Do you remember that I was on the team with JP and we used to hit really well?" I was like, "You're Black Panther?" And he looked at me. He goes, "That's me." I was like, "I was looking for you for like 6 seasons, bro." I would be like, "Dude, this guy is the dude." And he ended up on the White Sox doing his thing now. But he's still doing his thing, bro. He threw a complete game shutout in the playoffs last year.
I know, dude. That dude's still going, man. Like, I'm like, hey, props to him, man, for being able to pitch like that. Even at our age, like, that's not easy. That's not easy at all,
bro. He's well known around the area. Blue Island is another league that's up and coming, and he's up there and they're winning ships. And LG's doing his thing, bro. And he told me to hit you up. Hey, by the way, what was he talking about? He said something about a foul ball. Your freshman year. What is that story about?
We were doing live pitching at our practice field, and I went up there and I yanked a foul ball on him. Looked like it was going to be a home run, but just went foul. I pulled that thing so far out of the field, man. Everybody's like, eyes got big. And I'm over there laughing at him, talking shit. And I don't know if he ended up striking me out after that or not. I can't remember, but I messed with him. I was like, this close.
No, you can hit. I'll never forget you from the minute I met you, bro. You were a killer. You were in the box. They weren't getting you out. Like, I remember you going, like, I think we were in the fall ball league, and I was watching. I think that's when I was the tryouts for walk-on with fall ball. And we were watching you, and I was watching you, and you went like this 13 pitch at bat, bro. It was like foul ball. I'm like, dude, how do you get him out? I was like, you're throwing in the dirt. He's falling off. You throw anything inside that's going out the park, and if you go away from him, he's gonna dump it over right field. And I was like, I was watching you, and then all of a sudden, you end up walking. I think it was like a 15 pitch at bat. You end up walking in foul ball. I'm like, dude, how do you get that guy out? And it was me and Mark. We were standing next to each other. Yeah. He goes, bro, you know how Mark is. He's always like, he's a little hyper. He's like, that guy's a beast. I was like, I played against him in Legion. I was like, yeah, well, I was like, that guy's a beast. And sure enough, you're here now.
Yeah, it's funny. I don't even remember that at bat. That's crazy. I'm glad you brought that up, man. That's cool.
Dude, it was against your boy, actually. It was the long name, the crazy long name, number 27.
27.
Your ace at Wabanzi.
Breutzman?
Roidsman, yeah.
Roidsman.
And you kept talking shit to him. And as a freshman, you're coming in, you're like, well, dude, they're talking shit to each other. Like, is that normal? Like, you're supposed to be quiet. And you were just like, you ain't getting me out. And I was just watching. I was like, dude, this guy's a beast. I was like, he's going up against the number one guy, and he's not giving a single inch. And he ended up walking you and like cursing you out on the way to first. And I was like, and Mark looks over to me, goes, yeah, that's the 4-hitter. He goes, he's a transfer. And I was like, well, that transfer is a ticket, dog. Ultimately, it ended up being you. Let's talk a little bit about. Let's go a little bit reverse. So, like, you're here in Legion Ball. You know, you're hanging out in that's Turner Field, obviously, right?
That's actually Sophusburg over there.
Oh, that's Sophusburg, old school Aurora.
Yeah, we played at Turner's here and there for sure, but Sophusburg was our main field.
Oh, we'll get to that in a minute, because people now that are watching, and you know, people that are in men's baseball, they don't know what Aurora was like back then. Aurora was definitely tough.
It was.
So we get here, and this is high school, right? East Aurora.
East Aurora on the left. That's high school. That's actually my dad right there coaching first base.
Wait, your dad was your high school coach?
He was one of our assistant varsity coach.
What?
Yep.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was cool, man. It was cool having my dad on there for sure.
Was he tougher on you than most people?
Oh, hell yeah. 100%.
That's how it happens, bro.
I ain't get no slack at all, ever.
That's how. I mean, are you the same way now that you're a coach?
Hell yeah, 100%.
Hey Dom, if you're listening, bro, my bad, bro. I feel sorry for you.
He 100% will get it the worst out of anybody. I'm honest, all the time.
That's awesome, man. I mean, like I said in past shows, it's generational, right? It's like a rite of passage.
Yeah.
Like you got to go through your dad before you get to a scout. That's what I say. So here, let's talk about this. I know that you on the right here. This is Puerto Rico.
This is Puerto Rico. Yeah.
Hey, shout out to all Puerto Rico. Big things happening. Obviously, you saw Ryan in Puerto Rico right now. He's doing a tournament with the MSBL. Puerto Rico is a beautiful place, beautiful land for baseball. It's Puerto Rico, Mexico, Venezuela. You see have you seen like the World Series?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Do you root for USA? Do you root for Puerto Rico? Who do you root for?
I root for both. If they play each other, that's a tough one, man.
Who you rooting for?
I'm happy if the U.S. wins, but I'm like secretly wanting Puerto Rico to pull it out because
Puerto Rico.
They're the underdogs. You know, they're the smaller. They're small
underdogs, bro. Puerto Rico like sends out baseball players like out birth, dog. They be sending them to America.
to me, they feel like the underdogs because it's such a small little island compared to this huge country, right? So, yeah, I'm rooting for them definitely, but I'm happy if either one wins. I'm definitely going for both.
So this was before high school or before college?
Yeah, so the Puerto Rico trip was my senior year. It was right at the very tail end of our senior season, and I tried out for it's called Coast to Coast, and it was a U.S. team. It was I think 17 and under or 18 and under, and tried out from people all over the country, North America. We had guys from Canada on the team, and I made the team, and I ended up we had a choice between going to either Japan, Puerto Rico, was it Germany or Italy, and I believe Canada. And I was like, well, I'm going to Puerto Rico because I got a bunch of family over there that, you know, they've heard about me. Yeah, there they are right there. That's all my family. And
so this is your cousins? Like who's this humongous tall guy that takes 3 chairs?
Oh yeah, that's one of my cousins, Abraham. Yeah.
You got the whole family's height or what? You got everybody's height?
Yeah. Everybody's in there, man. Like they all came from all over the island to come watch me. Like every game. We had like 5 or 6 games that week. And they traveled wherever I was at. That's where they came. Matter of fact, that was Roberto Clemente Stadium right there.
Dude, not many people have played there, but I know many people from Chicago, especially softball guys out of Humboldt Park.
Yeah.
They play the guys that play ball. They go there and they tell me good stories, man. That's like playing at Wrigley Field, right? In
Dude,
Puerto Rico.
yes, 100%, man. You get to play there, man. Like that's one of those, like, those bucket list places that you get to go and play on. It's awesome.
And how'd you do out there in Puerto Rico?
Oh, I killed it, man. Straight up, I was killing it. Like, especially that game right there, Roberto Clemente Stadium. I went like 2 for 3 with 2 doubles off the fence, and then I hit a line shot that somebody caught. So I was performing for the family, man. Everybody was there, and I had a huge cheering section. I think they were louder than the home teams, the Puerto Rican teams. It was crazy, man. Everybody kept looking up every time I would go up the bat, and everybody's looking up like, "Oh, these people cheering at, like, the hell is this coming from?"
It's Isaac's family.
Yeah, it's my family. I had like 30 people, man, every game. It was crazy. It was loud.
I mean, I think that's like every baseball player. It's like when you have family that comes to watch you, it's like you have to turn up. You have to like give a little extra.
Yep.
And I think that happens with kids nowadays. Like they have dad, they have mom, but then they have brothers and they have uncles and aunts and grandmas and grandpas. And what I feel like with my son is like when grandma and grandpa are there, it's like, okay, I gotta get serious. Like this is grandma and grandpa, like they're watching it. It takes a lot from them to come out and watch, and the kids get it, and it pumps my kid up when grandpa's there. And my dad, he's a big baseball guy, and my son, he's like, Grandpa Jesse's coming. I'm like, I maybe he will, and then he's like, oh, I gotta get ready, and it's like pure focus.
It's like that for sure.
We have here. So this is you. I want to move up, and this is you now, right? This is not. This is recent.
It was last summer. Yep, in the summer.
So. Where are you playing now that you're done with college and high school? And
this was. I decided. I was like, hey man, I kind of took a break from bodybuilding, and I said, well, let me give it a try. I want to go play in the men's league and see what I got. So I started, trying to get myself into baseball shape. I actually started. Was it the end of 2023? I started training. Remember, I was talking to you about doing some baseball stuff.
Yeah,
and I said, you know what? I'm training. I'll be ready. So I ended up jumping on a waiting list or whatever it was, a draft list, whatever. And one of the guys contacted me from this team, the Rebels. And I got to go play, man. I actually caught quite a bit, and everybody's like, you're going to catch. And I'm like, yeah, man, that's my position though. I can go play first base, but I want to catch. I want to see, what I got and everything that I'm teaching my kids, see if I can, put it all back together again. So this is the MSBL league out here in Arizona. We play at the Talking Stick Resorts.
So one thing I do get jealous of, bro, is you guys in Arizona, bro. Like we have an MSBL like in Chicago. We have a lot of guys that play in it. You guys have the nicest field, the nicest weather. You can wake up, go swimming. Like that's why when I see CJ swimming, I'm like, bro, I wish I could swim in January. Like that's cool. Like he's swimming in January. You guys are playing ball in February and January. And the MSBL is nationwide. So it's not just Arizona, it's all over the country. They have tournaments. And I've been telling a lot of my guys, I was like, we got to go to Arizona. I was like, I got my guy Isaac out there, and he'll hook us up, and we'll be able to play. Which is very cool, man. Like, still playing. Is it only catching? Are you only catching still?
No. I ended up playing some first base. No, I ended up playing some first base, and I ended up pitching a little bit the first time, and I don't know how long, probably since I was like 21 or 20 years old, so I played different positions and I DH'd, but it was mostly just catching. I played a little bit of third base too. Yeah. Forgot about that.
There you go. How's your arm still? Is it too tight? I know you all those muscles, bro. You can't get over it.
You know what? That's what everybody asked me, and that's funny you say that because I thought it was gonna be like that, but I take my stretching and all that stuff serious, and I knew coming back from bodybuilding it was gonna take me a little bit to kind of get everything stretched back out. But man, I'm telling you what, man, my arm was probably stronger than I've ever been in my life. Like no lie,
Jeez.
I felt like I was throwing hard. Like I don't know how fast it was coming out, but that shit felt like 100.
Yeah, I'm sure you have strength of 1,000 men in you, bro. The way you
It felt like sometimes, right? It's crazy.
then we got basically you got your guy, and that's a high pitch, I think, and you still got the mechanics down, bro. I mean, it doesn't change, right? Mechanics don't change as long as you're an athlete.
Yeah. No,
Just the strength, and you're still stable, and you're still going right at the pitch on the right side there.
Yep.
What's do your boys get to see you play, or is it something they're able to come watch you?
Yeah, and honestly, that was honestly my main reason for joining, the team and playing. I wanted the boys to see me, come play baseball, see dad play, like they never really got to see me, when I was younger like that, because obviously I had my boys when I was in my late 20s, and I was pretty much done playing. And I was like, man, I got to show these dudes, like all this stuff that I put them through and all this training, like I got to let them know that I can still keep up and play. So, it was a huge deal for me to go out there and them get to watch me play. And they traveled. We come all the way out. Man, I was driving like an hour to go play. And they were out there with me all the way till 9:30 at night, coming home at 10:30, and then going to school the next day.
You hear them chirping while you're in the box?
A little bit, like they were recording me actually, like all those videos and pictures. That was CJ recording me. It was funny. So,
it's funny because you're I do admire you and everything you've done. We have similar paths, right? Like you have two boys, I have two boys.
Mm-hmm.
One of them's into baseball, one of them is into swimming as well. And being able to watch you and all the stories that you post, I'm like, dude, that's funny because that's exactly how me and my kids are. Like I have my kid recording me during my at-bats, like, come on, dad, get a hit. Like, and I'm in the box down 0-2. I'm like, come on, bro. Like, I don't need all this. I need to focus. He's like facing like 91 down the, one of the best pitchers. That's funny, man. So let's get into talking about, something that I really do admire about you, and like from when I saw you again for the first time. We've known each other, for a long time, but I didn't really get to see you for, your period of time of in your mid-20s doing your thing. And then all of a sudden you pop up on Instagram and you pop up with 8-pack delts. And I'm just, and like, dude, I'll never forget the moment I saw that picture, bro. Like I saw it and I was like, I know that guy, but is that the same guy? I'm like, there's no way that's Isaac. And I had to text Mike. I was like, is that Isaac? He goes, yeah, Conaway, you know him? I was like, bro, of course I know him. He was one of the best hitters I've ever seen. I was like, but that's him? And he goes, that's him. I was like, no way. He goes, yes. And that blew my mind, bro. That first picture, obviously now you're doing your thing and you have it all down packed, and I'm going to show, the people that are watching, this is one of the reasons of why I do, I'm inspired by you in every facet is this right here. This is insane, bro. I tell people all the time, I'm like, and this was not that long, right? How long did it take you to go from 1 to 2 right here?
So the picture on the left with the big old belly, I was 320 pounds, and that was it was 2015.
Okay.
And then picture on the right was, I believe it was in my last prep, both pictures on the right. So 2022, so about, 7 years it took, to get to that point. But, I had shred down pretty good. 2018, I'd shred all the weight off and got real lean at that point. But yeah, that one in particular, 7 years right there.
I think that was the turning point, right, of your life. I think that's like where everything just went forward. There's no looking back.
No, yeah. So the biggest thing for me was like, I had a little like a health scare in 2015, and I got hospitalized with like a atrial flutter, and I had pneumonia real bad. So I was in the hospital for like 13 days, and like it scared the hell out of me. And they had to stop my heart, restart my heart, so they can put it back into rhythm correctly. And and I was like, man, I can't be doing this. I'm too young for this. I was 30 at the time, and I'm like, both my boys, my youngest one, Dominic, he was, he was just a little baby, and CJ was, a couple years old, I'm just like, man, this is crazy. So from there on out, I just completely said, I said, screw this. I'm not going to live that lifestyle anymore. And, I stopped drinking alcohol. I stopped eating crap. I stopped going out places like that. I just kind of really stuck to the gym and changed my eating habits completely. Like I just went the other way, like a complete 180.
Mm-hmm. Like that. You just stopped and went.
That's it. I just stopped, man. That was it. There was no other way. I was like, I ain't going back. I'm not doing that no more.
So when you started, did you cook all your meals?
Yeah. Yep. I just would prep my own food, and that was the thing. It was like I had to learn this lifestyle because it's not easy to just start, dieting, right? Like you've done it, all about it now. Like you got to really buy into it. And for me, buying into it was like, okay, I got to start taking my meals with me to work. Even though people at work were judging me and looking at me.
And back then you were working like on the road, right? You were like with ComEd, or you were on the road doing stuff. Yeah, that's hard, bro.
Yeah, no, I was working on the truck, at ComEd. I was there for 13 years and I was always working a lot of hours, like, dangerous stuff, like, all the bad conditions, working around electricity. So, we had a microwave on the truck. Or if we didn't, I would stop at a gas station and go microwave my food there. If I didn't have that, I'd eat it cold. That was just how it went,
So that's the stuff that's very motivating to me and to many people that are watching. It's changing your lifestyle so suddenly, but for the better.
Right.
And many people don't understand that when you do change your lifestyle, it only leads to bigger and better things. It's not going to deter you from anything. It's going to make you feel better. It's going to make you open avenues. I think if you've, like, in my own opinion from watching, it's if you never do that change, there is no training. There is no, future of what you're doing now. And we're going to get into that. Your future and being free. I feel like the reason why you inspire so many people that, do follow you is that you're living life on your own terms. And living life on your own terms is something that everyone, aspires to get to. Right. And it's something that, it not only benefits you, but it benefits your whole family. It benefits your children. And because neither you nor I had a cage in our yard that we could just go train and wake up. No one has a pool to go and swim, to train. Like these little things, they're minuscule, but so big in life that you work very hard for. And, you and your wife were able to accomplish this together and building a life together. And that's what's really cool. And I'm really happy that you're on this podcast for that, bro, because that's something not many people could do. And with that said, you do training, right? That leads into your training. And that's something here that for the people at home, Iconic Sports Academy _ in between both, that leads to strength conditioning, baseball specialist, nutrition, and memberships in order to hit, with you as a coach out in Arizona. What part of Arizona do you do all this training out of?
So I'm in Surprise, Arizona, which is the northwest part of the Phoenix metropolitan area.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, way up at the northwest corner.
Okay, and you're training everyone from parents to kids, right? Like physical training and then baseball training, and is that something that you always thought that you would be doing, or is that something that kind of came about as you got older and into into becoming you?
Well, a lot of my inspiration from what I do now comes from, Mike, Mike Lacombe. Big shout out to Mike. Mike's a mentor of mine as well and a good friend. And I would see Mike set up at his house, and I'd go train with Mike. When I first started bodybuilding, because he was my first coach. And, a lot of that stuff inspired me. And what inspired me to start making my own gym, or put my own gym in the house, I should say, with the kids, it was tough. My wife and I were really, trying to get back into working out together and doing all this stuff. So, I was like, we found it difficult, especially with both our work schedules being really chaotic and, just always running around. And it was really hard to go to the gym and create that time. So I was like, well, screw it. I'm just gonna stop parking the cars in the garage, and I took the 2-car garage and I started converting it into a gym, and from there, my wife and I took advantage of that as much as possible, and it really helped us because we didn't lose that time driving to the gym there and back, and we could go do it together, and the kids could be in there with us. We didn't have to worry about anybody babysitting them, you know, so that was a huge change for me. And that's really what opened my eyes up to say, oh man, like I could start training people, especially after my first show in 2018. People started hitting me up like, you know, they wanted me to coach them. And I was like, oh man, I don't know if I'm ready to coach people. And, you know, I was always into like training with people and helping them out. When I trained with, a lot of my friends would go with me and train. So, you know, I just kind of found I had a knack for coaching people and really training people and helping them, like, you know, really connect to their body. And, you know, I just could explain things really well, and people really took to that, you know. So, you know, I just went right into coaching, man. And I told myself, once we decided to move out to Arizona, I was like, I think I could start this as a full-time business. You know, I really can. And, you know, Mike definitely, like, you know, gave me that push. Like, you could do it, bro. Go out there, you know, you just got to say screw it and do it, you know. And it's tough, man. You leave a job that's so secure, like a job at ComEd, which, you know, is a lifetime job. You go out there and it's a career, you know. And I was 13 years in at that point, and I was like, man, like, I'm vested, but I really don't know if I want to do this all the way to my mid-50s. You know, I want to coach people and train people and change people's lives. That's what I like to do, you know. So, I mean, you see other pictures right now. I'm working with the kids, and that's one of my athletes, Xander Sandoval. And, you know, we do a lot of work in the gym, and I love it, man. I wouldn't trade it for anything else at all.
And this is right here, these pictures. This is your garage.
This is my garage. Yeah. Yep. I have an RV garage attached to the house. That was the big reason why we moved to Arizona. I was one day during COVID, I'm on Zillow messing around. You know, I talked to one of my buddies, Marcel. Big shout out to Marcel, who pushed me to move out to Arizona. He kind of told me it was a nice place, and I'm like, all right. So I started looking at houses, and I went and visited him during COVID. We were off for like a week. One of the crew members got sick, and I decided to take a flight. Flights were super cheap during COVID, man. I flew first class for $40, you know? Yeah, and I came out here and I checked out the house, and I wanted to see this RV garage, man, because I was in love with it. I was like, man, it's so cool. I was like, I can set up a gym here. I wasn't planning on moving. My wife and I were planning on moving for like 2 years. So we go out there, check out the house. I went out there by myself, actually. And I was told my wife, I'm like, man, this house is nice. And the lady goes, the realtor, she's like, listen, we can get a really good price on this. The guy's willing to come down another $50,000. He just wants to get rid of it because he has to move back to California. And I was like, I called my wife up immediately. I'm like, hey, listen, like, he's going to leave the house fully furnished with everything brand new. The whole backyard's done, pool. It's got the garage. And she's like, what do we do? I'm like, we just got to do it, you know? So 2 days later, I'm signing paperwork, man. And we're like officially like moving out there. And I was like, I had to fly back to Illinois. And I'm like, I got to change my whole life around now. Holy crap. Like, this is.
But isn't that cool, bro? Isn't that like, I mean, it takes two, right? You have a wife that's very supportive, and
yes, 100%.
It seems like it's like, dude, do you, I'll be there, and whatever happens. And that's pretty awesome to have.
Yeah. I just want to say real quick, I want to give a big shout out to my wife, because if it wasn't for my wife having the job that she has, the security that she has, you know, and trusting in me, like, I wouldn't be able to do any of this, man. Not at all. You know, and I'm out here, you know, able to live out my dream with my beautiful wife and my kids, man. And a lot of it is because of her. You know, she's been holding it down, you know, when I'm starting this business from the ground up. And, you know, thankfully for her, like, she's been our glue, you know, and it's a wonderful thing, man. I'm so, you know, grateful for her.
And and shout out to your wife as well. I've seen her do her thing on the stage as well.
Yep.
And not only has she performed better than all of us, I remember her winning almost everything she ever got on stage for, if I remember correctly.
She's a beast. Yeah, she's a
dude.
Beast. Yeah, she can outperform. She can outdo most guys when it comes out prep, man, for real.
I think that's where CJ and Dom get all their talent from, bro.
They definitely got that, like, I ain't gonna quit attitude from her, man. She's driven, like, so driven. So yeah, they get that. I'm glad they got that from her, for sure.
It takes a whole community, right? It takes everyone to, you know, live a life that they want to live fully. Yes. So we got you going through, you know, your gym and everything. I like to, you know, show these type of pictures. You call it the Trap House? That's your gym?
Original name was the Trap House. So when I had the commercial gym in there, you know, before, when I was just personal training, one of my buddies, Marcel and my other friend Nick, they helped me come up with the name, the Trap House, traps and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of took it as like it's in the hood, right? We're in the hood.
Yeah.
I was like that hood mentality, right? Like Trap House. Yeah. Chicago, got the Chicago flag. So, my guy painted the mural on there. He painted that, hand painted that himself. And I just kept it like that. I don't know. It's cool. I might change the name down the road. I don't know. It's fun.
I think it's cool, man. I mean, you have a cage in your garage. Like,
yes.
People like me dream of shit like that, bro. Like that's my dream, and I don't have that space, but
right.
It's definitely a dream of many of us, that love baseball. And then here you are training. Not only do you train baseball, softball, but I see here you're also training agility and fitness, and basically you're a bubble of knowledge, right? You're teaching everything.
Yeah.
And for a community, that's pretty much awesome to have someone like you in a community where you're teaching the kids. And not only the kids, you're teaching the parents too. The parents are coming in and they're getting their workouts in, and you're providing the health that not many people can provide, and you're living the dream as far as I see it, bro. Like that's the dream.
I think one of the cool things that I get to do also is a lot of that. Shout out to the parents that come in there and hang out and, watch their kids and bring them in there. I get to talk with them a lot, and converse with them while we're training, and we talk obviously a lot of baseball and training stuff, but, we also talk about like, what the kids should be doing as far as nutrition and, supplementation. And, I explain to them like how important all this stuff is if they really truly want to get the best out of their child, their young athlete, and they obviously are, all of them just take it in. They love hearing all this stuff, and they're always grateful for all the information I provide to them. A lot of that comes from my bodybuilding background, so that part has been huge for me, is learning the nutrition side and the supplementation side, and now implementing that back into baseball, stuff that I never knew about growing up at all, like how I could use that. So obviously I use that for my kids, to get them a little edge on everybody else, so I help my clients out, and I provide them with that same type of information. So it's pretty cool.
That's one of the cool things that, I do notice from you is being able to teach not only like the athletic part of life, but you're able to teach, the physical part of life, which is more beneficial than any sport will ever give you. Right. Is, the livelihood of, what to intake, what food to intake. Doesn't matter if you're 5 years old or 25 years old. Food is food, and how you eat is a big part of your life. Yes. And here I have, your iconic sports academy right here, out of Arizona. So if you're in the Phoenix area?
Yeah, I use the Phoenix metropolitan area.
I'm in the Phoenix metropolitan area. And if you're looking for someone to train,
we're in the West Valley. Yeah.
West Valley, not only to train your child, but even yourself as an adult, check them out. It's not that hard. You show up to your house. Mm-hmm. You get personal training out of a house. Like that's very rare. And look at it. Like this is insane. My kids would probably be done after one. Like is this CJ? This is both your boys, right?
That's CJ right there in the front, and Dominic.
They're just launching stuff. Yeah. They're probably like talking to themselves like, I can't believe Dad's got us doing this. It's probably a Sunday. They're supposed to be eating, chorizo con huevo in the morning. And you got them out here. Look at them.
Yeah. Oh man, that's funny.
Their personalities kill me. And I've met them once or twice, but their personalities through the camera, it's telling, right? Kids are always gonna tell you like how they feel. Mm-hmm. And it's hilarious, these kids of yours, man. They, they're funny and they have, personalities of their own, but you could tell that they're hard workers.
Yeah.
And I think that comes from the parents, I see you sometimes. I'm like looking on, Instagram at 5 a.m. I'm getting ready for work. And then I look on Instagram and there's your boys doing cardio. Yeah. I'm like, are you kidding me? I was like, it's 4 a.m. in Arizona and these kids are up doing cardio, eating their own meal. I'm just like, and I'm like, these kids are going to be beasts. I was like, they keep living this way. I was like, they're already years advanced above most adults.
Yeah.
The way and I think with them, and I'll ask them a little later when we get them on, I think it's something that, they should be very grateful, and they're going to be very grateful about it when they're older.
Definitely.
You know, that like, holy shit, like this is awesome. Like dad did this for us, and you know, and mom pushed us, and you know, you got all these, you know, you training, like you're out of your garage, like you're living the dream. It's awesome to have you on here. You got, you know, both boys. Just then, it's probably Sunday football. Everyone else is drinking, you know, drinking and having wings, and these kids are doing parametrics. Look at him, the Boricua shirt, bro.
That's what's up. You already know.
It's so cool, bro. Like everything about it, I love it. It's cool, man. And we're gonna keep moving forward. I know we gotta, you know, get the boys in here. This is what you're doing now. This is like your destiny almost, right? Like everything you led up to is to the point of providing for your kids, and not only providing like every man wants to provide for their family, but you're providing for your kids in ways that many people don't. You're talking about fitness, you're talking about the sport they love, and both of these kids are gonna be great. They have something that most people don't. Most kids will never have, because it took you and your wife. Both of you guys are you know, rare breeds. Both of you guys are at a high level, have done the bodybuilding thing, have, you know, sacrificed a lot to learn the ways, and now you're teaching your kids.
Right.
And I think what we're about to see and the things I'm about to show the people here, these kids are amazing. And I'm ready to, you know, introduce them. Go ahead, introduce our guest for today, which is brought to you by, real quick before I forget, it's our guest today, as always, are brought to you by our sponsors. One of our sponsors is, you know, Illinois Real Estate Pro. It's Benny Calasano. He's one of the biggest, you know, real estate guys in Chicago right now. It's the Call to the Bullpen, and today's Call to the Bullpen is brought to you by Isaac Conaway. And go ahead, Isaac, bring on your guests.
All right. Well, these next two coming up are the two crazy boys of mine. I got Carlos CJ Conaway and Dominic Conaway. And
here we go.
Love to have them on. I'm glad they're on. There they
Let's
are.
get them on here now. What's up, boys? Can you hear us?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hey, what's going on, guys? How are you?
Good.
You guys, welcome to the iRake Mentality Podcast. I mean, both of you guys, I'm excited to have you. One of the things we do love to do on this show, have a dad, have a kid. Both boys, both of you guys are, one's a swimmer. Who's a swimmer?
Me right here.
Yeah. Dude, you impressed me so much, Siege. You can hold your breath longer than I could probably walk.
Hey, one of my swim coaches promised me $20 if I could hold my breath on 125, and he still owes me $10.
Hey, pay this man his money. Hey, whoever's listening. And who's the baseball guy?
Me.
That's you? All right. That's Dom, right?
Yeah.
All right, Dom. What do you love about baseball? Tell me what you love about the sport.
Just getting dirty when you slide. It's just fun. Everything about it is fun.
You love everything about it, huh? Getting dirty?
Yeah.
All right. You steal a couple bases, or what's your biggest strength in baseball?
Catching. And
Catching?
hitting.
So you're a chip off the old block.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, have you ever seen videos of your dad catching?
Like when he was in the men's league.
Yeah, when he's in the men's league. Yeah, I'll tell you what. I saw your dad catch when he was younger, live. He was one of the best, bro. You're learning from one of the best, Dom.
Yeah.
Let's I want to talk a little bit about CJ here. CJ, let me pull some stuff up for you. Because obviously, Dom, you're a baseball guy. I'm a baseball guy. Your dad's a baseball guy. But I can't float. I can't swim. And when someone does something, and how old are you? Siege, how old are you?
11.
Okay, you're 11 years old. And you
He'll be 12 in a couple of days.
You could beat me twice on Sunday, and I can't even float, bro. So when I watch your swimming, and I know your dad just posted a couple things. You took first in was it the butterfly, or which one was it?
Yeah, butterfly and 100 breaststroke.
Okay.
100 meter breaststroke.
100. So who's there cheering you on when you're? Can you hear anyone cheering you on?
He can't.
I
You
can hear
can't. All of you tested
when
it.
I pop up my head, I'm like, I can hear like a split second go. Like
So everyone that is me can't think of anything else to say than go.
Then go.
They're going go.
Dom,
go.
do you ever think about just jumping in the pool and pushing them? Like, come on, bro.
Yeah, he might want to.
Wait, Dom, can you outswim your brother?
No.
Not even close.
I might get close like a few times, but not really. No.
No, but he's training every day like you are baseball, right? And
Yeah.
here we are. And one of the things that I do like to show is, bro, look at you. This is so impressive. And where is he, Isaac? Which one is he?
He is middle in the blue cap, just behind the red cap. So
Right here in the middle.
yeah, a little bit over to your right more. So where there's nobody popping up in that lane yet, that's him in that lane.
Oh,
There you
that's
go.
him in the blue cap.
Yeah, that's him.
yeah, I'm the one in the dark blue cap.
He was the last one to get up after he got done gliding.
Oh, so you can go underwater for a minute then.
Yeah, I can go underwater for a really long time until I have to pop up.
So when I saw this yesterday when I was watching, your dad posted a little bit, and I got chills because I was like, you kept going and you kept winning, and you're like always at the first two, and I was like, what does that take to, be able to swim the way you do? Look, you just won, and it's like nothing for you. You're just there. It's like breathing for you, Siege. What do you love so much about swimming? What's the one thing that captured you about swimming that you love so much?
I liked being in the water. I didn't like being in the cold that much, and so mom and dad signed me up for aqua tots, and I started doing that, and I wasn't good at all, and I started to like it because I could use my body a lot in the water.
The only reason why CJ did the swimming was because our grandma, we were swimming in the pool, and she said he could swim pretty well. So then mom and dad signed him up for the aqua tots, and that's how he got into swimming.
My mom again discovered that he
Dude,
could
it's always the women in our lives that just point us in the right direction.
Mom knows best.
So you get into swimming, Siege. Well, when did you start loving it? Because you have to love it to finish first. I mean, I don't never met anyone that wins stuff without loving it. When did you start loving swimming?
So during aqua tots, there's like levels and stuff. Like around level 7, like the second to last level until you graduate.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, I like this. Keep doing this, and I did my first like swim competition. It was a really small swim competition. We were doing dives off like off the floor, and
yeah.
It was the one with his hands up like that. That picture you got.
Were you ever nervous when you first dove? Because I don't like the dive head first because water
He
gets in my
belly
nose.
flopped this first time.
Oh, you belly flop? So yeah, we're all
I belly flopped for about 2 months until I was like, the coach was like, do this, and I was like, oh, okay, and then I started doing it.
So with your dad, what's the one favorite thing? All right, say he's not your dad right now. Okay, say he's just a coach. Okay, what's your favorite thing about your coach that gets you prepared for your swimming?
Him stretching me out.
The stretching. So your dad's very knowledgeable, right? So like, what does that involve? Is that like kind of like doing one of these or one of these?
No, he grabs my legs and he bends it and like pulls it up really high, like where I couldn't flex it.
Yeah, it like when I'm before like every game that I do, that's what the same thing. It stretches like our hamstring and our calf.
So you're always prepared before you get to the field or to the pool.
Yes.
You're always prepared. That's pretty cool, man, to be prepared. Most kids just walk up to the field and they're ready to go. You guys go through a whole process, and that's very professional.
Yeah.
With swimming, I saw something. I don't know if you want to correct me, but you go to a chiropractor to stretch you out also before.
Oh yeah, me and Dom do it.
You both do it.
Yeah.
And I remember
Oh,
when he told me that I was gonna start going to chiropractor. I was nervous at first.
because of the
And then after
cracks.
a while, I was fine.
I get
I've
nervous.
always been there so many times and just waiting for him to get out.
Yeah.
I was scared at first because I was like, oh my god, he's gonna break my back.
I think the same thing.
That's what
I'm
I
always
thought.
like, he's gonna break my neck, bro. I don't want to go.
Hey, that's real quick. Big shout out to Tim and Muscle Chiropractic, Dr. Tim. He's been a life changer for all of us.
You guys, you definitely rely on a good chiropractor to get you through any sports or anything, any lifting or everything. That's really good to have. And you have that's somebody you have right by you, right? In Arizona.
Yes. Yep.
That's awesome. So Dom, let's get to you here. I know CJ is the big swimmer. He's winning every swimming competition I think I've ever seen on Instagram. And CJ, keep going, bro. Keep going because you're good at what you're doing. You're the way you swim, and I was watching you. I could never do something like that, and I'm 38 years old. You're 11, and you're kicking butt. So keep doing. Don't ever stop. If you love it, keep going. You have a father and you have a brother that's going to motivate you. Do not stop. I can't wait to see you at Stanford, just swimming in the Stanford pool one day. Okay?
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, keep going. So Dom, big baseball guy, huh?
Yeah.
That's your main sport. You don't swim?
No.
You
I just had a football tryout today. Actually, it's tackle. And
yeah, football.
yeah,
You want to
baseball.
play
Both
football?
of them. Both of them.
Dom did flag football too.
Yeah,
Football.
I only play one league of flag football, and then I'm just going straight into tackle.
Then
Oh,
he also did soccer.
And we suck. We suck.
wait. So you tried soccer, you tried football, you tried everything possible. Which
And
one's your favorite?
and basketball,
But which one's your favorite?
baseball by far.
Baseball. Why is
sure.
baseball your favorite?
It's just fun beating teams by especially when you beat them by a big amount. Our highest, I remember we beat a team 34-5.
Come on, that can't be fun, bro.
We're hitting.
Did you give him at least a couple tacos after? Like, here's a couple tacos. I don't feel too bad.
You want a donut? Here.
Well,
So,
you know why? Like last year they were the team getting their teeth kicked in, right? So they took their lumps last year as 8-year-olds playing in the 9U. So this year they're enjoying being on the other side of it, where they're kicking everybody's butt now. So
well, that also comes with hard work, right?
Yeah.
You work really hard. I see a lot of your Instagram, and your dad posts a lot about you, and
Yeah.
you have your own, and it's 21 Dom, right? _ baseball.
Even some of my teammates, watch my Instagram.
I mean, yeah, bro. Like, you're doing your thing, and it's kind of you and Siege are kind of following in your dad's footsteps, right? It's something it's something that a lot of people our age, like your dad's age and older, kind of wish they did when they were younger. And your dad found out how to live life on his own terms, and it's something that I think he's instilling in you guys, is how to live life on your own terms. And just by watching everything that you guys do, you guys are very impressive kids, man. Like, I'm sure everyone looks up to you, whether it's swimming or whether it's baseball. It's your teammates are probably looking up to you, saying, this kid works. This, whether it's swimming, this kid works. And you guys are constantly hard workers. And I think you get that from your mom and your dad, as far as working really hard. And it's one thing that's cool to see as just an outsider. I'm just here in Chicago watching you guys. I know you're there for a while, and just seeing stuff like this, like a high outside pitch, you're taking an Apo Taco. Look at you. You're just dropping bombs left and right, opposite field, like you've done it 100 times. And real quick, what number do you wear, Dom?
21.
Why do you wear 21?
Roberto Clemente.
Oh my God, you're Puerto Rican at heart, aren't you? That's awesome, man. One day you're gonna play at Roberto Clemente Stadium in Puerto Rico. I guarantee you will. And when you do, you
Yeah.
come back to me and say, "Hey, you did tell me," because one day I see you playing there. And what's your favorite thing about travel baseball? Like, what do you enjoy doing?
It's just fun, like developing and like playing against these other teams that you want to beat. Like this one team called the Bombers. We played them like 4 times this season already. So, and we beat them 3 of the 4.
Bro, who taught you how to block like that? Look at that. You like to get dirty.
Oh yeah. He
And
does.
you're not fair because you're framing everything on the outside corner for strikes. You must have gave the umpire at least $10 before the game, right? Because there's no way those are strikes, bro. It's so cool to watch you and everything you do. Look at this. Wait, you have no. That's a strikeout. The block, everything you're keeping in front of you. You're not afraid of the ball, right, Dom?
No.
No.
Like last year, I blocked like maybe like 3 times all last year, cause like
Really?
I just didn't want to.
This is
But
the cool
now
thing.
after the last tournament of last season, the Flagstaff tournament, I was doing it like a lot. So
Yeah.
and then I felt comfortable because after doing it, I felt good. So after that, my blocking has gotten a lot better.
Well, not only your blocking, but your framing. Because I'd be very upset if I was a 9-year-old when you were the catcher because I'd have to swing at everything. You're getting strikes on the
Unless it
outside.
was an obvious ball, you had to swing.
I mean, everything's an obvious ball on the outside corner over here. Look at you, just catching strikes.
That was him pitching a little bit ago. Yeah.
That was you right there.
Yeah.
Right there, lefty.
That's him chasing down the fly ball.
Come on, bro. You're ready to go for 9U.
Throwing a runner out third.
There it is. Let's see some hitting highlights here. This is down 6 runs, playing a 10U team, last inning, bases loaded. Did you feel nervous?
Is
Is that off the wall?
It was a one hopper off the fence. Yeah.
One hop off the wall, double, and you just tied the game.
Yep.
And no, you got the third.
Yep.
Do you get nervous, Dom, in those big situations when you have bases loaded and the team's needing you? Do you calm down a little bit?
Like I don't even like. I like having runners on base because I feel more confident when people are getting on base. Like if they're getting hits, I feel more confident when I go up there.
And are you a 3-hitter, a 4-hitter? Where does your coach have you?
4.
Oh, baby, you're the big bomber.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here, tell me a little bit more about this right here. This is one of the cool pictures that I did see. So tell me about this day. What happened this day? How did you meet? For those guys that are watching, that's Corbin Carroll.
Yeah.
All-star, one of the best players in MLB right now. So tell us a little bit about this story.
I was in a camp, and it was at a far field, and he was the guy there because it was called the Corbin Carroll camp, and I was there, and that thing that I'm holding is the award that I got for being the best kid in my age group.
Oh, wow. So you were the best of the 8-year-olds or 9-year-olds?
9.
Yeah. Best 9U guy.
It was like there was like brackets basically. So it was like the kids like who were like the oldest were in the highest one, and the kids who were the youngest were in the lowest one. I was in the one in the middle, so I won that one.
That's cool. Did you get a baseball sign from him or?
Oh yes. I mean, we have a actual little card.
Yeah.
That's signed by him.
That thing around my shoulder, he gave me like a backpack that I still have. And I used it for school for a while, but I realized now for my stuff, like my water bottle, it does not fit at
Oh, you
all.
guys are big water drinkers. Dad
Yeah.
got you on a program. I know Siege probably drinks water in his lungs, bro, the way he swims.
Half
But
fish. Exactly.
that's awesome, man. So you
Yeah.
got to meet Corbin Carroll. So quick question though. Are you a Cub fan, a Sox fan, or a Diamondback fan?
Sucks.
You're a Sox fan. How about you, Siege?
Sucks.
You're
Actually Cubs.
Cubs?
Like
Okay.
it's half and half.
I feel like he likes the Cubs more.
So you haven't converted to Diamondbacks fans living in Arizona?
Not really. It's just like we go to their games to watch and get signatures from the players.
Oh, okay.
We always bring a pen and like a few baseballs.
Corbin
Because
Carroll,
that's-
if you're watching, they're not really rooting for you. They just want your autograph. Dom, so me and your dad have talked about this. Okay, you throw a runner out, and I've seen you throw plenty of runners out. I think this is, your throw down the second. Let's see here. There he is. Boom. Nice. So my brother's a catcher, and okay, that movement right there, timeout. Are
It's
you
not-
calling him
Popping up
out?
on the screen. It's not popping up on the screen, Jesse.
I
Oh, my
can't
bad.
see
Hold
it.
on,
Yeah.
hold on.
No,
Let me
you're all
see.
good.
So let's redo this one again. We're gonna see it here. So here, boom. One step, go. He's out by a mile. That movement right there, Dom. Is that an out call or is that a good job call? Which
Out.
one is it?
Out.
See, I knew it, bro. I knew you were teasing them, man. Like your dad was like, no, he just throws a thumbs up like good. I was like, no, he's cocky and he's throwing the you're out. I'm glad we got that cleared up, bro. What's one of your favorite things to do, Dom? Is it to throw someone out or is it to get a nice shot hitting?
It feels good to get a nice shot.
You rather hit a nice shot than throw somebody out?
Yeah, it's fun either way, but I feel like it's I like getting like a big hit because then everyone in the dugout and the fans are going and everyone in the crowd is going crazy.
Oh, those fans, man, they'll hype you up, right?
Especially mom.
Gee, well, remember, Dom and Siege, no one's gonna be a bigger fan than your mom, bro.
Yeah.
Your mom will be there. CJ could be backstroking by winning by 100 miles, and she'll still be cheering on you like you're in last place, dog.
Yeah, she's like she told me today. She said, so you can get motivated, think of me cheering in your head.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
She just
said it.
She just commented.
There you go.
Okay.
And then there's another one throwing kids from down. David
Oh, there's
Sugar.
David.
That's Coach David. He coaches our baseball team.
Oh, he's your coach?
Yeah,
Yeah.
one of our coaches.
I mean, you guys, you have a good coach the way you're dominating. Let's give a couple shout outs here. Let's post this one right here. Who's this guy right here?
Oh, hey. My friend Marshall. It all started in preschool. I remember. It was
You're gonna be awesome.
You want to
I
give
remember we were friends in preschool and then we played against each other in a
T-ball.
T-ball league. and
and you've been best friends since, or what?
Thanks, Mom.
And then that's how he told his mom that his friend was on the other team, so that's how it all started. I went to one of their practices on their coach pitch league, and then after that, that's how it all started.
Okay, so now you're teammates.
Yeah.
And he's a 3-hitter. Let me guess, a 3-hitter to your 4-hitter.
He's the one hitter, actually.
The 2-hitter.
He's a 2-hitter.
Oh, two. Yeah, two.
So this Mr. Marshall should be a very good bunter then, right? He's a good bunter.
I haven't seen a bunt in a while.
The Venom don't bunt, right?
Yeah,
Our number one hitter in our
he rakes.
He rakes.
Yeah, he rakes.
our number one hitter and our 7th hitter are the best bunters.
Oh, really? Well, you guys
Yeah.
look like you got some talented kids over there. Especially with these forearms, bro. Both of you guys got big forearms. That's what it takes to hit a ball.
The bodybuilding poses, they're hitting.
Yeah. You've been watching your dad a lot, huh?
Yeah.
Every morning, does your dad get in the mirror and be like, "All right, I still got it"? Here's a couple more. I'll show a couple more. You got some training videos here. Your dad's got you. Oh, so my dad had me do the same thing. It's the sand move, right? Where you get the forearms bigger.
It's rice, actually.
It's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, we do rice. Yeah.
Look at you go, bro. That's very impressive. And here you're probably what, 9 years old? 2012. Yeah,
Yeah.
you were 9 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And you're carrying dumbbells over your head like nothing. You're very strong then, huh, Dom?
That cleaned my shin guards a lot. That
Oh, yeah.
the first one, it went from dusty to pristine, clean, nice and clean.
And I'm looking up here. Look at your whole workout: cardio on a bike, 10 minutes, rice training, 4 sets of knee slides. Right? This is more work than most college kids. Like, this is insane. And I'm sure, Siege, you probably have your own workouts, right?
Yeah, I do cardio at 6 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, every now and like he usually trains when to strengthen his arms usually or his legs on like.
Wait, are you both morning people or who struggles to get up?
Dominic.
Dom's don't wake me up.
CJ sets his alarm and gets up on his own.
After they wake me up.
That's awesome, man. Well, at least you got your brother that's a morning person, so you'll always be a morning person.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Me and Dad usually train like after cardio or after school.
Okay. Well,
that's what it usually is.
How cool is it to have a dad that knows what he's doing when it comes to training?
Nice. Yeah.
It's pretty cool, right?
Nice.
Like your dad's like superhero. I mean,
yeah, basically.
Yeah, look at your dad. He's like a superhero, man. He's like Superman. Here's one of the cool clips that I like to show. It's Dom, and you love to go opposite field, bro. Look at you, in and out, opposite field gap shots, round the base perfectly, get to second base. So when you get to second base, like, do you give a little pump or? Oh, just a little clap. Just a little clap. Or...
Yeah, you should see different videos.
Okay, you're working on it. You're working on your doubles.
Yeah.
Your double celebration. You got to give them something, man. You got to give them.
Yeah,
he does the money.
The money.
When I hit like a double or it like ties the game or it's in like the last inning and we need runs, I usually do that.
Oh, you'll get them motivated.
Yeah.
What do you do when you win a race, bro? Do you give them like the paper sign or like what do? You just barely breathing because
I just knock out all the all the water out of my ear.
He did
Fist bump the person who either beated me or got close to beat me. Good job. You did a really good job.
Man, that's cool, man. You guys are very cool kids. One's an impressive swimmer, and the other one's like growing in your own old world of look at like I just keep watching all these training videos. It's just nonstop. Like this is you back in 2024 October. Before this, I mean, you're in Arizona. Do you guys get to play all year, Dom, or are you just like in Chicago? We only get to play for like 6 months.
Yeah, we play all year. It starts in August, and then it ends in like
June,
May, or if we have an extra tournament in June.
Yeah, I mean, look at those mechanics coming out of your squat and that turn. And so my brother's a good catcher out of St. Xavier, and you guys remind me a lot about my brother. My brother was the same way. My dad had him in the basement, lunges and squats and medicine balls and you name it. My brother did it, and now he's at St. Xavier starting as a sophomore. And he's doing really good. And I see a lot of that in you, Dom, like the way you train and Siege, the way you train. I mean, you pick your sport, and swimming is one of the best sports you could do. Everyone that I know that's a swimmer is very successful in their life. Like every single swimmer that I've ever met in my life is always successful when they get older because of the discipline it takes to be a swimmer. Because it's not easy. Like, and sorry, Dom, swimming is way harder than baseball.
Yeah, I know.
And for your brother to be doing what he's doing and to constantly be in that pool and winning those
The
races,
thing
I
is,
mean,
it's really hard for me to get into the pool, like just going to a practice, and just we have Saturday practices. It's like early in the morning,
Like 8. I wake up and they're already out the house.
yeah. Then
So I have
my
a question for both of you guys. And before we
Yeah.
get out of here, we got a couple of minutes left. CJ, what do you look up to in your brother? And I'm going to ask the same question to Dom. Siege, what do you look up at your brother Dom? And what do you look into him that inspires you every day?
I'm getting signed up for rec ball, and I was like, and I liked how Dominic pitched, and catched at the same time. All of that.
That was in the Gilbert tournament. It was on Sunday, and I caught 2 games in a row every inning, and then on the championship game, I pitched that game. So I was like one of their last options, so they just had to pitch me.
Oh yeah, no, I'm pretty sure you weren't the last option. I'm pretty sure you were the only option after you caught all those innings, and they were like, maybe we can use them, maybe we can't.
Yeah,
because most catchers that I know can really pitch pretty well because they have strong arms. Dom, what do you look up to as far as your big brother? What do you look up to him about? What gives you like that's my big brother? What's cool about him?
It's like how good he is with technology.
Technology?
Yeah.
He's an expert with the computer or what?
A computer.
Oh yeah,
I remember I tried like once or twice to play Roblox on the computer. I'm like, how do I use these things? And I see him just.
Oh yeah, so he's got that intellectual brain. He's a little more advanced. He's a little older than you, bud.
Yeah.
So he's gonna have the ups on you almost every.
Yeah. Can I show you my most like recent ring that I got from?
Absolutely. What do you, we're winners all here. Show me your ring. I'll show you mine, but it's in the back.
Out of here.
Do you need me to grab it down?
No,
I can.
No, you can't.
TJ, can you reach it? Go ahead, so he don't have to climb on top of his bunk bed.
You're.
Here. Your big brother got it. That's what you look up to for your brother. He can grab everything tall, high for you.
Yep.
Show him the ring. You gotta get it close.
Oh baby, where was that?
Upside down or?
You got it right. You're good.
Where'd you win that one at?
It was. We were in We actually played at 2 different fields on the 2 separate days. We played at Golden Eagle Park, which is in Fountain Hills. It's like an hour away.
Yeah.
It's always like that. So, and then we played at Victory Lanes, which was only like 25 minutes from us. We had to win both games to go to Victory Lanes.
Okay, so I heard that championship ring that you're holding right now was against 10-year-olds. Is that right?
It was JGB. We're a AA team right now. They were the number 1 AAA team in the state. So It was because we beat 2 of the top 3 teams in AAA in the state, which was AZBC Frisbee, which is we beat them going last tournament, and JGB, which is the team we beat to win this.
So you're already keeping track of all the tournaments and the rankings and everything.
Nah,
Yes.
he's keeping receipts, bro. He got
receipts
for every team that beat us too. Yep.
Dom, you're coming, man. I'm excited to see, Dom, I'm excited to see you grow into the baseball player that you're going to become.
Yeah.
It looks like you love it. Stick with it. Obviously, you have a great dad that's teaching you everything. You have a mom that's motivating you. Siege, same thing with you, man. Like you're doing your thing and you're swimming, and that's something that neither I think me, your dad, or Dom could ever probably do. I was like, I'm sure your dad's sinking. The minute he gets in the pool, all that muscle's going to the bottom.
I mean, should I bring out my trophy?
Let me see your trophies, please.
Huh?
Let me see it.
the second. I
Alright,
will
1 second.
fall to
Yeah,
the
let me
bottom the second I get in there.
Yeah, like where baseball players are not meant to be in a pool unless it's during in between games, right, Dom?
Off
You know,
season.
he actually swims a lot on his own. He gets in the pool during the summer and he goes in there and he swims for like forever.
Is that Siege?
Like
No.
I remember he won it
Dominic
in Mesa.
Dom does?
Yeah.
Let me see that trophy.
I remember we were out. I was watching it the one day he had
Wow.
6 of them, and the
6
2 days we
trophies?
didn't watch were the shortest days.
Bro,
Yeah,
so you're just racking
I
up
had to do-
trophies, Siege, huh?
I had to do
That's
12
sweet.
events, basically
In
12 races in
3
about
days.
3 or 2 days. Yeah.
3 days.
So
Oh,
which is your favorite race?
I mean, mostly breaststroke, every breaststroke, and my first time I got first place
In a while.
In a while.
I
was
mean,
like,
that's hard work, man. That's a lot of hard work. So the thing is about you getting your first place is doesn't it feel really good because all your hard work is paying off?
yeah, but swimming is mostly not like it's not about like what place you get. It's more about what time you get.
Yeah. If
So-
it doesn't matter if you get 6th place, but you qualify for regionals, that still means you did really good. Like he got 6th place in one of them, and he still dropped 20 seconds from his last one.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So swimming is about improving.
Yeah. So
Okay.
like if you do good if you knock off a few seconds on one, then the next day you do the same thing and you drop or you gain some seconds, that score stays there. Then you have to beat that score to move on, kind of.
And you're only
Yeah.
11 years old and winning, so
He-
I can only imagine.
There's like 8-year-olds who like do these meets that I watch.
Yeah. He was 0.2 of a second away from qualifying for regionals. He had to be like, what was the time? It was like
33.27.
and you had to be 33.0.
0.
Wow. So, but the thing is, you know what's awesome about you, Siege, is that you get to work every day at your craft. You have a pool in your house, don't you?
Mhm.
Come on, bro. Like I mean, you have a pool in your house. You have a batting cage in your house, and you both have weights in your house.
In our backyard, we have a bowl.
It's endless. Like, you guys are gonna be amazing, amazing, amazing athletes as you get older, and it's only gonna be fun to watch you guys. And as you get older, both you in baseball, you in swimming, it's gonna be like a show. Every single weekend is a show. This guy's over here swimming, and this guy's over here going to the cages and winning ball games on the field. How awesome is your life? It's pretty cool.
Yeah, pretty cool.
It's very cool, man.
Yeah.
You got mom and dad, that can outlift everybody in this chat, and then you got you guys that can outswim and out hit somebody. And Dom, you're going in and out on the outside pitch, and that's a beautiful sign because you're staying in and you're going out with the ball, and all your hits are right center gaps.
Yeah.
That's a grown man hitting. Like most kids don't hit to the opposite field the way you do, and you keep that
Yeah,
barrel.
I remember, like, I know my friend Marshall, he does not hit to the right side. It's either center or left.
But
So
guess
that's why,
what,
like,
Dom?
when we're taking batting practice, no one's on the right side.
But see,
all of us
Dom,
are on
like
the left
as you
and
get older, Dom,
middle.
you could take kind of like what your dad has taught you, and you could actually show your teammates, a little bit here and there as you get older. You can be the trainer, you guys both. Like you could be a trainer, you could live life on your own terms and teach people, how to be better at the craft that they want to be. Is that something you guys want to do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to follow in Dad's footsteps?
Well, so real quick, CJ actually wants to join the military and he wants to be a swim instructor for like the Navy. That's an aspiration that he has to be. So
really?
he came up with that all on his own too. It's pretty cool.
Siege, what made you think of like the military? Because I was
Oh,
in the army. I wasn't a swimmer. I was more on. I do better on ground, with my feet on the
so
ground.
we were going to a school Halloween event. It was called Trunk or Treat. Like people give away candy in their car trunk.
I'm gonna go to the
And
bathroom.
I tried to we went inside and there was like a bunch of stuff and there was one lady. She was like giving out like stickers and she said she was a swim trainer for the military and all this good stuff about it. I was like, hey, I can do that.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what, man. The Navy and the Naval Academy is very hard to get into, and I think that's something that you can probably strive to get in.
Yeah.
You already have the components, right? You have a good
Mhm.
family base, you have a good work ethic. Obviously, you're swimming better than most adults. It's
Right.
just watching you and how you're able to come out of the water and then go right back in. I was like, that's awesome. That's really, it gives me chills to think about, a kid your age being able to do something like that. Just keep trying, man. In the Naval Academy, you'll get there if that's something you really want to do. And when you get older, I think that's very attainable for you. And Dom, if you want to play ball and be a pro baseball player, I think that you guys have the proper tools. You have the proper, backing from your
Yeah.
parents.
Right.
I think, if you notice other kids, they don't have what you have, right? And I think that's
Yeah.
something that, you should really love the fact that you have that. And it's, everyone's watching. I'm watching. There's people that you don't know. You met me, I think, once or twice, but there's people that are just watching from, whether it's Instagram or they know your dad or your mom, and people are rooting for you guys. And every time you go out there, just give it your all. And it's awesome to see you guys, become better. And I see, Doggo back there, and you guys have a couple
Yeah.
dogs.
Big dog. This is the big one. The small one.
He's bigger than you, Dom.
Oh, yeah.
He's taller than me.
He's taller than you guys. And I think you two boys, you're gonna do great things, and I'm only excited to see both of you guys grow. And what are you rocking there, Dom? What do you got there? Is that Rawlings?
Those are the Rawlings icon, the new one.
Oh baby! Oh
The newest
wait!
one.
Come on! Is your dad just getting you new bats, or you're earning them?
Yeah, my grandparents actually got me this one.
Oh, your grandparents are probably gonna give you the newest bat every year. So.
They gave me swim trunks and I couldn't use those anymore because they're for 13-year-olds and it's technically illegal to use those.
Yeah, the swimming thing about the swim trunks are very confusing because I'm like, why can't you use a certain swim trunks at this time? Unless it, like I know in some leagues, like baseball leagues, where you can only use USA bats, it makes more sense. But why can't you use certain trunks? Like it doesn't really even do much.
I think that's a question for the swimming committee, buddy. Like if I could answer that.
It's because some of them have like a certain texture they use or certain pattern
Oh,
that helps people like go through the water really easily. And it creates that thing where like you go faster and when you push off that wall you're already like halfway through the pool.
The swim trunks are $350 swim trunks that Olympic swimmers use, and they have less drag on them. So
are you kidding me?
No, I'm not at all. I wish I was.
$150 swim trunks, bro.
did you?
Yeah,
did you
I'll
know
go
that,
out there in my whitey tighties and I'll try to swim.
My swim coach was like, he started panicking all of a sudden and staring at me. I was like, "Are you okay?" And he said, "You're not supposed to be wearing those." I was like,
those are for Michael Phelps.
He was like,
Not for an 11U.
Right. Exactly.
he told us in one of the meets, and I accidentally put it on again. He was like, those swim trunks are meant to be like you can't put those on easily as I could because when you're 13 you're supposed to take at least 20 minutes to put it on.
Yeah, I'm like, huh? Why do you need almost 30 minutes to put on swim trunks?
That's great, man. So
My
guys,
celebration when I throw someone out is pistols when I. It's from
See,
the
I
Happy
knew it
Gilmore.
was, bro. I knew you weren't just giving a thumbs up. I was like, no, that guy's throwing some stuff at the other team.
Show them what you do, Dom. Show 'em
What do you
It's
do,
the
Don?
shooter from Shooter McGavin from Happy Gilmore.
What do you do? Show me. What do you do?
Show them. Go ahead, show
It's
them.
That's awesome, man. Well, I can't wait to watch more of you guys grow up, man. You guys are
Yeah.
going to be amazing people, human beings. You guys have a great life ahead of you guys. Just keep working really hard. Follow your mom and dad's advice. You guys are going to be epic people to watch. I guarantee you I'll be watching you swimming at somewhere, and I'll be watching you playing baseball somewhere. Just keep working hard, okay, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so now we're at the end of our show. I just want to give a couple shout outs to a couple of our sponsors. We got iRake Mentality. Use iRake Mentality for Inspire Brand at IG and Inspire Brand _ brand. It's CBD products, pet products, calming treats. Definitely check them out. I've spent some time on them in the past shows. We got Sanchi's Mid Fix. If you need your glove fixed in the Chicago area, go ahead, send it to him. He picks them up, drops them off. He does great work. He's doing one of my gloves here. I'll probably have it for next episode to show you guys. Does great work. Tony Sanchez out of Joliet. We have Illinois _ real estate pro. That's Benny Calasano, real estate guru out of Orland Park, Palos area. If you're selling a house, buying a house, wanting property, shoot him, give him a shout. He'll definitely help you out. And then we have a couple new ones here. One of the new ones is the Massimo Holistics pet product. Just came out. Massimo is my bully's brother. He's the same. They were born seconds apart. Massimo came out with his own holistics brand. It's calming treats, and they got a ton of different products for pet fur and for keeping your pets healthy and having a good life. It's brand new. It just came out. Check them out at IG. It's Massimo's _ holistics. Every product the pet should have. And finally, it is my partner here at iRake Mentality, who is in Puerto Rico and can be with us today, Vega _ baseball. If you're looking for training in the Aurora, Naperville area, he's a Wabanzi grad. Him and his father and his brother are doing great things with training. Go ahead and visit IG, which is Vega _ baseball, for any training that you might need. Again, thank you, Isaac, for joining us today and telling us your story and everything you do. Dom, CJ, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yep.
You guys were my favorite so far to have on the show. I love everything about this, and one of the things when I did make iRake Mentality podcast is to have dads who are coaches and their kids onto the podcast to tell their story and how they can benefit and teach knowledge for other kids. Other kids are going to see you and going to be like, wow, these kids are really working hard. Maybe I should step it up a little bit.
Like, I remember when one of my teammates saw my Instagram. Right after he started watching it, like a few tournaments in, he started to get a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And remember, guys, life is about helping other people, right? If you're better at something than somebody else, pass the knowledge on. Always pass knowledge, because knowledge is power, and knowledge comes from wiser people, right? Your dad teaches you knowledge. It's only right for you to teach knowledge to the next guy, right?
Yeah.
Make the teammates better. Swimming, whatever it might be, whatever your dad and mom teach you, pass it on to your teammates, pass it on to whoever can, accept that knowledge from you. And like I said, I'm very excited for you and your futures. Thank you for joining iRake podcast Mentality podcast. I'm so glad that you were on. Like I said, you guys are my favorite so far. You guys made it very fun. For Isaac, for Dom, for CJ, I'm Jesse Zaragoza. Thank you for joining iRake Mentality podcast, and I'll see you next week. See you guys.
Thanks for having us on, man. Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
brother.
Thank you.
Take care,
Bye.
man. See you guys.
All right.
Bye.